Good evening, and welcome to TV Burp. Down on the Royal, they've found a cure for viagra overdose. Ouch! And at the Brit Awards, due to an admin error, Best Female Performer goes to Fido. After the success of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, there's a new reality TV show set in Jordan's stomach.
This is disgusting. It really stinks down here.
I can't stand much more of this. There's no proper tuck-up.
Look out, fellas. Here comes some more.
Get me out of here!
Of course, the really big new reality show is Back to Reality, featuring all the stars of the previous reality shows. James Hewitt, Nasty Nick, Jay Goody, Rick Waller, all sharing $1 million mansion. The best thing about this show is that at least you know for 3 weeks you're not going to run into any of them in the streets. You're safe for 3 weeks. Here's James Hewitt explaining to Ricardo from the salon how to cook live lobsters.
Because they said they could cook alive.
We'll boil them.
You could boil them alive.
Yeah. But they fall asleep in the warm water.
They just fall asleep. Ah, bless. It's like when you shoot a pheasant. Bang! Suddenly it nods off. It'll be fine as it curls up fast asleep in my little stomachy bed. Here's Uri Geller getting to grips with just who Rick Waller is.
Who are you, then? I'm... It'd be hard to describe it in a couple of words.
I can think of a couple. Is it me, or does Sharon off EastEnders say everything twice?
I've booked us exactly the same place I went to with Mum and Dad when I was a kid. Well, it's where Mum and Dad used to take me years ago when I was a kid. It's for the 3 of us, the family. It's so the 3 of us can be together. Proper family break. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was exactly the right place. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was right. Vicky, do you want me to take anything to the cleaners? Oh, I thought Vicky was here. I just wondered if she wanted something taken to the cleaners.
I'm just going down the cleaners, I say. I'm just going down the cleaners. She's turning into Fred Elliott. Listen, Sharon, instead of going down the cleaners, why not go down the nail bar?
Make sure you pop in and have a manicure before you go. Never know who you might meet.
Yeah, how about no one?
Hiya. Have a good time. Yeah, perfect.
Look, even the receptionist's gone home. Any time's a good time at the nail bar. Nail bar, nail bar, nail bar. Fight your way through the crowds and try and find a seat. And tonight, Matthew, I'm going to turn from Billy Mitchell into Sharon Watts.
Oh, and Billy, wear a suit.
Isn't it embarrassing, though, when you've done an entire scene, then you realise you've had your flies open the whole time?
I think I've got some photos somewhere, Dennis. I'll go and find them, yeah?
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you ask a question even though you're sure the answer's going to be no.
Pat, do you know anything about employment law?
Don't know anything about employment law? Has the B&B got nice wallpaper? Yeah, well, new statutory procedures set out in the Employment Act 2002 won't come into effect till October, but if you want to bring a case for unfair dismissal before an employment tribunal, you'll need to do it within 3 months of dismissal, yeah. You having a pudding? Of course, one of the big stories on Easties at the moment is Ronnie Ferreira's search for a kidney. There he is, beaten up, in a coma, kidneys packed up. What do his family do? Happy birthday! See, what they could have done is put happy 25th birthday, couldn't they? Yeah. Yeah, you've been in the coma for 4 years. Yeah, Tony Blair's still Prime Minister. Peter, Andre and Jordan are expecting their 3rd child. And Pat's left the square to become a lawyer in the city. Specialising in employment law, yeah. She paid her way through law school by going back on the game. Gender swap on Channel 5. What the dickens was this all about? They took Barry from EastEnders and turned him into, Well,
Keep that smile.
that's Eddie Izzard, isn't it? They took Carol Smiley and turned her into, well... It's Deck off Anton Deck. What I hadn't realised about Carol, though, she's tiny. Here she is, next to a door handle. Yeah, she sleeps in a shoe and wears an acorn for a hat. Rides to work on a mouse. So Carol was transformed using all the latest technology from Hollywood. Yeah, right. All the latest technology from the world of films. Some blue tack, pink paint and a wig. Into someone she calls Jeff Knight.
Hello,
Who looks like he's been in a fire. But it's not just the makeup. Oh, no. They have to convince a member of the opposite sex that they are what they say they are. Here's Barry as his alter ego, Barbara, chatting up a bloke in a bar. Just watch how he's managed to rise to the acting challenge of a lifetime and perfectly capture those feminine ways.
So when my marriage went tits up, it was obviously quite a traumatic time. Goes down quicker, apparently. Get your piss quicker.
Yeah, see the footy last night. These pants are tight. You fancy a pie?
Is this the right studio for Kilroy?
No, he doesn't do it anymore.
Curses!
Alex Best, My Life with George now, where we spent some time with Alex Best. Now, just what drove him away, I'm not sure it was a drink so much as the food.
Sure, it's the last thing he wants. He's not extremely good for his reputation.
It's in the plum tomatoes. Give it a nice old stir there. And stick it on some pasta. Pasta al tomato. They shouldn't have gone to all that trouble. See, what George preferred was, I don't know, red wine in a white wine sauce, or ale and ale pie, or wine au vin. Which brings us rather neatly to footballers' wives. Blimey, that's a big bottle of wine. Yes, Chardonnay's dead. And naturally, they chose to mark her grave in a very special way.
You got wings.
They put a bust of Michelle from Pop Idol on it. All this time, we've come a long, long way. I waited a lifetime for the day of this time. Oh, I'm starving. Anyone got a pie? Tell me, Michelle, who's your favourite footballer's wife? Gillian Tilforth! It was an extremely moving ceremony.
And through it all, she offered us protection, a lot of love, and affection. Whether we're right or wrong.
I'm loving angels instead. Nice touch, a recitation from the Robbie Williams book of Extremely Common Prayer. I've got it here, look, I've got it here. Funerals, try angels for a burial. Yes, and we saw that. For cremation, let me entertain you. Yeah. I'm a burning effigy of everything I used to be. You're my rock of empathy, my dear. Well, if that doesn't work, relight my fire. Well, here's a phrase you don't hear very often.
What about the people that ate my puppy, eh? What do you reckon they think?
What? And you're probably like me, you do things when you're scared you wouldn't normally do, you know. You might feel sick, your hands might start to shake, you might chew your fingernails. For footballer's wife Amber, it manifests itself in a very different way.
Well, you know what, Conrad? They've succeeded because I'm shit scared. Do you want to know just how freaked out I really am?
She eats dog food. Gives new meaning to the phrase Caesar salad, doesn't it? This week on the bill, Sheila Murphy buried her little baby Neve.
Sir, I don't want the police anywhere near the funeral.
It's not my call, Sheila. It's MIT's.
I mean it, sir. I don't want my baby's funeral turning into a circus.
What would that be like? maybe not. The turnover's so fast on the bill, some of the actors are having to read their lines off bits of paper.
Taverner's got your radio.
Well, the only way you could have known you'd lost your radio is if you'd been following it.
We can have you in a safe house within 2 hours. I think you should consider it.
One thing that must have surprised a lot of us Bill fans was Reg Hollis's taste in music.
And what do you normally do when you get a bit down?
You're gonna laugh at me, Reg. Well, I go home, put my favourite Jim Jams on, and I listen to Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears.
Tears for Fears. Songs from the Big Chair, that's a great album. Although I have to say, I think I prefer the one they released 4 years later, The Seeds of Love.
Who'd have thought it? Reg, a Tears for Fears fan. Well, it becomes even more obvious next week. Here's a sneak preview.
Reg, disturbance on the Maycroft estate. Check it out.
On my side. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. And I find it kind of funny and I find it kind of sad. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Leave me alone! I've never done nothing! Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on. I'm talking to you. Come on. Sowing the seeds of love. The seeds of love. Come on, Constable, give me a break. Everybody wants to rule the world. Mad world.
Well, Blind Date is gone. Yes, Love on a Saturday Night has taken its place. But who's better, Cilla Black or Davina McCall? There's only one way to find out. Fight! See you after the break. Go on, Cilla! Welcome back. At the Back to Reality mansion, the nation votes with its feet. Two Ronnies celebrate news of their comeback. And George Best's dinner goes cold as Alex puts her foot down. You lost your job because you made certain comments about Arabs. Yes, Kilroy fell on his sword, but I've spotted a younger man in his image who could be a possible replacement.
Let me sit in between you two, please. Right, now, what do you think?
What do you think? You got any funny stories? You getting your leg over? I like you, you're nice.
This was Dirty Laundry on Channel 4, hosted by Jade Goody's boyfriend, Jeff Brazier, and June Sarpong. This week, they were talking about young girls falling in love with waiters in Turkey.
What's so great about these Turkish waiters?
They're just so romantic.
Are they really?
Yeah, they buy... Well, I got a rose from them and said, "Oh, love you, darling."
I got a rose and he put black pepper on me dinner. He must love me. He gave me a baby. I haven't heard from him for a while. I think he's saving up to buy me some chrysanthemums.
What do you think?
By the way, they did audition a number of celebrities to replace Kilroy. Yeah, they wanted someone a bit more Arab-friendly.
Next.
You lost your country and live off mini Masba in Spiderhole for 8 months?
Now, for those of you who don't watch Coronation Street, here's Steve McDonald to fill you in with what's been going on.
I got Tracy Barlow pregnant who stalked me and then cancelled my wedding behind my back. I've got a baby daughter nobody knows about that's being looked after by the croppers. Roy thinks he's the father and so does his transsexual partner here.
Now, here's Deirdre's mum Blanche with a slightly simpler version.
They've already been told they can't adopt, haven't they? Because he's a loony and she's a man.
And if you're still confused, here's Steve's wife Karen with an even simpler explanation. It was a real family occasion.
Our first car ride.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Haley, can I have a look at him?
Well, it's her, actually.
Him, her, it. Easy mistake to make in that family. It seemed to me there were two babies anyway. Here's baby number one from earlier. And here's the same baby a little later on. Yeah, maybe she had a haircut for the wedding. Yeah, it was a long storyline, this one, and I tend to echo the thoughts of Eileen as she waved the happy couple off.
Don't come back for a while.
Yeah, it's our turn now. Tracy tried to get her baby back.
By tomorrow, they'll be in a much more reasonable state of mind.
I think your dad's right, Tracy. We'll get your baby back, but we'll do it without a shouting match.
I think that will be the kindest thing to do.
That's right. Softly, softly, catch ye monkey.
I want my baby! Give me that baby!
Wait a minute. If there were two babies, surely they can have one each.
Next.
He's a loony, and she's a man. Safe as houses now. Here's a brilliant piece of TV. It's all about a family who want to move from Cheshunt, right, near London, right, to Cornwall, and then they don't. Yeah. What a fantastic way to spend an hour that you'll never see again. It's the Gibbs family. Here's Tracy.
Steve's a very good cook. He gets a packet of something, and whatever that picture looks like on the packet, it turns out.
Yeah. He gets a packet of food, cooks it, it looks like the thing on the packet. That's because it is the thing on the packet. What, you thought it might be a coincidence for the thing in the packet to look like the picture on the packet? That is the idea of a packet. It's sort of a hint as to what you might be buying. Here's hubby.
Edging to the side of newer because everything in it's new.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. A little later on, he comes over all Big Chief Sitting Bull.
I'm after a house that doesn't need any work doing to it.
It need many work doing to it. Me heap I'm want to move to Cornwall. Oh dear, me change mind, me stay in Cheshunt.
Cheshunt. Cheshunt. Bloody Cheshunt.
Yeah, I think the word you're looking for, darling, is peasant. Here's the estate agent showing them round a property in Cornwall that they have no intention of buying.
Gallery kitchen.
Okay.
Always handy to have a gallery kitchen. A lot of people say, oh, it's not a great size, but if you want something here, you just have to turn rather than looking around.
Yeah, the advantage of a small kitchen over a big kitchen, you haven't got so far between getting the packet and cooking what's in the packet. Yeah, the gallery kitchen, named, of course, after the gallery on a ship. Yeah, once you looked at the gallery kitchen, have a walk down the back gallery. Maybe stop off at an art galley on the way home. My picture.
Look at this lovely room. Isn't it gorgeous?
No.
In here, absolutely gorgeous centrepiece of a granite fireplace.
Yeah, gorgeous if you happen to be a hobbit. So the show's presenter has a little chat with them about what they plan to do.
You need to talk.
I would have thought the first thing you need to do is have that newspaper removed from the back of your head. Faking it is back. Yes, the Rolls Royce of the reality shows. The lobster thermidor to wife swaps chicken nuggets. This time we met Rob Archer, a management consultant who was then required to try and fake it as a dancer with dogs. As his instructor pointed out, it can only work if you really get to know your dog.
You know, you eat, sleep and drink them. Totally.
You've got to eat dogs. You haven't been on the set of Footballers' Wives, have you? So Rob was introduced to a couple of dogs.
And stop. And ask him to sit.
Sit, please. Get off your creep. Until he finally falls in love.
I finally found the woman I've been looking for.
and she's quite small, hairy and white.
That's right, it's Miriam Margolyes. I bet he doesn't treat Miriam like this, though.
Before you actually put the shampoo on, we're going to do her anal glands, and you can do hers in the middle. Now, you just point your bum away from you, because they need to just have this done. And you just put your fingers underneath and squeeze. Oh, there's only just like a tiny little drop come out there.
Oh,
and then immediately...
Poor Miriam. Look at his face, all embarrassed. He's got all brown. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week. Rob and the Bobster, pull it off!
Touch, Bob. Good girl. Come on, Bob. Go, Bobby. Go, Bobby, go. Go, Rob. Don't wait for her. Go. Twist. Twist. Good girl. Bobby, Bob.
But when they parted, it was one of the most moving moments of this week's TV.
Bobby, jump, jump. See you, mate. See you, Bobs. Oi, give us a kiss. Yeah, it was just... the whole thing was brilliant.
Rob returned home to his city bachelor pad where he could never keep a dog.
They haven't seen each other since. That is until tonight. So here to play us out, please welcome Rob Archer and Bobby. Good girl. Come on, Bob. Twist. Good girl. Bobby, Bob. Bob. Up, up. That's good, Bob. That's good, Bobby. Good Bob. Through, Bob. Through, Bob. Go on, Bob. Yay! Good Bob. Ready, Bob. Down, Bob. Roll over. Roll over. Yeah! Good girl, Bob.
Harry, you haven't seen Bobby, have you?
No. If you want to contribute to TV Burp, go to itv.com/Harry Hill. To TV Burp. The big news this week, ITV have won the rights to the boat race. Big deal! So the BBC lost the football, the cricket, the rugby. Here's a clip of next week's grandstand. Rabbit show jumping from Buxton Opera House. 2 o'clock, log rolling from the River Severn. 2:45, horse diving from Edinburgh. At 3:30, the Monkey Derby live from Hampton Court. And 4 o'clock, Princess Michael of Kent Adventures live. The police announce new seatbelt campaign. Forget clunk, click every trip. It's now clunk, click, slap every trip. You know, on a Sunday evening, I like nothing better than settling down with my tea to watch Heartbeat.
Yep, same again. Black blood from the orifices, blood in the dung, swollen glands. Classic symptoms, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Maybe I'll let that cool down a bit. Yeah, there was an outbreak of...
I suggest we all get out of here immediately. These cattle have anthrax.
Anthrax?
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 Anthrax? David said that's what it was. I didn't believe him.
I'm afraid he was right.
Vernon's got anthrax.
Anthrax? Anthrax? My advice, just keep an eye on your dung. The first sign of any blood, get down the Royal. Meanwhile, Club Reps is back. Yeah, or the mentally challenged on holiday. Here's the title sequence.
It's early season, but already the pressure's on for
Even the cameraman's drunk.
Area controller act.
And the reps aren't much better. Here's Mickey.
You're not cooking here?
Yeah.
I want to cook.
What do you want to cook?
Well, I'm going to cook a pot noodle.
I'm gonna cook a pot noodle.
They all just look so young.
I don't want to hear it, Daniel.
Look at her, she's only 3 feet tall. She must be 5 years old. But there's nothing the reps won't do in the name of entertainment. Oh, she's eating cat food. Oh, dear. They even put a warning up, don't try this at home. Unless, of course, you're a cat. But it's not all fun, no. The reps have work to do.
It's the day of the cheese rehearsal.
Cheese rehearsal? What's a cheese rehearsal? What is there about cheese to rehearse? Right, Stilton, you go first. Be prepared to be cut up into wedges. Edam, take your red jacket off and let's have a look at some of your flesh. Cheddar, stay where you are, doing a great job. And Primula, yes, boss, get off my cheese board! No, but joking aside, it must be difficult for the reps to keep up that high level of entertainment. I mean, you can't have the cat food challenge every day, can you?
Get some, like, say, 5 volunteers and get them dressed up as the village people and do YMCA. Everyone knows the dance and it'd be very funny to get them dressed up.
Yeah. Village people. That's always good for a laugh, about 20 years ago. Still, they pulled it off. We all remember the village people. There was the Red Indian, the traffic cop, and, the milkman. That's right, the milkman. Yeah. As for the punters, one of the charmers we're introduced to in this series is Baxter.
I've never been on an 18 to 30 ever in my life. I'm having a time of my life. I'll do it every year now until I'm 83-year-old, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Let's have a look at that Baxter, shall we? You want to do 18 to 30 till you're 83. You see why that doesn't quite work? It's all very well if you are 18 to 30, but what if you're a little bit older?
Do you think you could book that for me, darling?
Eastbourne? No, man, you ain't going there, darling.
Why not? It's a lovely place.
Oh, darling, it's not the place. It's all about you going on your own with a coachload of strangers.
Yeah, forget Ibiza. It's all happening down in Eastbourne.
It's Friday morning, and the pensioners have already been up and dressed for 4 hours, not counting, just trying to get into Asda. Meanwhile, one of the pensioners has decided to see if she can go and score some tabs from her local dealer. Or district nurse, as she calls herself. It's early evening now, and the front at Eastbourne is beginning to really hot up. The pensioners grab a last few moments of sun, topping up their tans before hitting the clubs. Over at the Derby and Joan Club, the girl and boy pensioners are really mixing it up. Guys dancing with girls, even girls dancing with other girls. Naughty. But at 7:30, it's time to go back for Coronation Street. And this lucky pensioner is over the moon. He's pulled. Whoa, give it some.
Who rules the roost now on BBC Three? We met the Manklow family, who took it in turns to look after the kids. They're a very close, loving family.
Max, I suppose because of his babiness and inability to communicate, hasn't really interested me. And Karis, if I was to be absolutely honest about Karis, I suppose I'd be resentful over the fact she was born.
Yeah, that's a nice bit of footage for them to see when they're a bit older, isn't it? But come on, kids do have positive sides.
Polish, polish, clean.
You can polish the table with them. Yeah, and after he's finished that, you can get up that chimney, give that a good clean and all. Turns out the father is something of a fitness freak. His body is his temple. He's got a very good reason for spending every night in the gym.
I absolutely have to be in the best shape I can possibly be. It's very important because that's part of, if you like, what I offer show business.
Yeah, his body is part of what he offers show business. Yeah, Fred Astaire tap dancing, Laurence Olivier could act, Mark do an hour and a half on a treadmill.
My love life certainly hasn't improved. I mean, I would say one of the greatest things as a man is that if I walked in the house and Karen had grabbed me and dragged me upstairs and things had happened, I'd gone, oh my goodness me, you know, that's that's a huge improvement. I mean, you've got to stay home, definitely.
Yeah, what's wrong with her? Doesn't she like that weird psycho-stary look buried down there? Hey, wake up! The mum, Karen, has some pretty strong ideas too.
What I'm looking for is one of my wonderful instant meals. Smiley faces and dinosaur chicken.
Yeah, it's not strictly dinosaur chicken, is it? No, it's chicken in the shape of a dinosaur. I mean, we've all got that really old box of something frozen to the back wall of the freezer, but not that old, you know what I mean? She's fed up with feeding them fast food pap, so she decides to give the kids a more healthy option. Yeah, dinosaur chicken, smiley faces, a bit of cucumber just to take the edge off. Yeah, cucumber. Packed full of nutrients, isn't it? Now, be fair. Like any mum, your work's never finished, is it? Oh, no. It's not all donut and a cup of milky coffee, sitting around listening to Steve Wright in the afternoon, pick kids up, put video on for them. Oh, look, it's bedtime. Oh, no. There's tidying up for a start.
The living room has come to resemble the opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan.
Not really, is it? Not really like Saving Private Ryan, is it? You know, that copy of Saving Private Ryan of yours, you know, did you buy it in the car boot? I mean, you know, it should have a hologram on the tape itself. Hustle. Footballers' wives now, and Shannon has had a nose job.
What do you reckon?
I don't know, maybe it's a bit early to say. You know, she's got that big H on her face. She went out the other day and a helicopter landed on it. Now, with Tanya, it's not just football that she likes. Watch her eyes as she enjoys a game of tiny elf tennis.
Sell the club, Frank. Sell for whatever you can get.
Yeah. If you listen really closely, sometimes you can hear the ball. Club manager Frank's not been too well.
That used to be.
Hey?
That used to be.
What?
That used to be.
Oh, I'm not surprised he's not making sense. Look at his front room. Where does he live? Headache Mansions? Yeah, I've got a migraine coming on. I just can't have a lie down in the front room. Ah! Well, it's in all the papers. Peter, Andre and Jordan are finally an item. Yeah, so let's catch up with how they're getting on.
This video don't seem to go in right.
Oh, let's have a look, babes. That's not a video, babes. That's a book.
It's got Barney on it. It's my Barney video.
No, babes. That says Bible.
Is that like Barney?
Hello, Mum. I'm going down the shops. Do you want anything?
I never look in the bargain bucket. Well, you see if they got Barney.
Oh, no, not Barney. You've seen that 1,000 times.
I like Barney.
There you are.
Yeah, Harvey, could you give me a packet of, you know, from the chemist, a packet of...
Peter, I've told you I make all my guys wait a month. I made Dwight wait a month, and I made Dane wait a month.
But what about Gareth?
Gareth was different. Kids go for half.
Yeah, the music's channeling straight through me into the organ without me having to touch it.
That's the demonstration song. They all have one. See you later.
Hi, Harvey. Is your mum in? It's Mike. Mike Reed.
Yeah, cool, mate.
Jordan. It's Mike. Mike Reed.
Yeah, your month's up. I'll meet him first. If that's your rocket, tell him I'll be 10 minutes.
Oh, Katie! Well, you've seen in the papers about this man dressed up as a woman. Miriam. Yeah, there's something about Miriam. We've already got a man dressed up as a woman. It's Hayley from Coronation Street. But who's best, Hayley or Miriam?
There's only one way to find out.
Fight! See you after the break. Go on, fellas! Welcome back. Over at the BBC, they've come up with a method for finding a new Director General. And with the two Ronnies and the Generation Game set to make a comeback, Jim Bowen starts limbering up. Well, it's been another exciting week on the street for Ken and Deirdre.
Listen, are you going to the library today? Only I've got a book that needs taking back.
That's the point, yes. I better find my ticket.
Where is the library on Coronation Street exactly? And while we're on the subject of the street, what's the story behind the pigeons that appear before the ad break?
I've got a scene with Fred Elliott later and we're a bit nervous.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You never know if he's finished or if he's going to say it again. It's very off-putting.
Morning, guys. You happy with the next scene? It's the bit into the ad break.
What exactly do you want us to do, Roger?
Well, you'll hear the music, and as it goes pom, 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 I want the pair of you just to jump up in the air and back down.
A little flutter?
Exactly.
Together?
If you can, yes.
A little hop up and then back down?
You've got it.
Right, let's get on with it. 1, 2, 3, and jump.
That Dev, he's so vain he's had a painting done of his hair, look. I tell you what, though, when you're on the phone to him, he doesn't leave you much time.
Yeah. OK. No. My flat. No.
I should know. That wasn't Maya talking to him. It was me. Hello, Dev.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
OK.
You want a picture of your hair?
No.
You going somewhere?
My flat.
Oh, when can I see it?
No.
See? Now, of course, there is quite a lot of campery on Coronation Street. I mean, Fred's camp.
Shut up, me ducks!
But for me, there's always been something a little bit camp about Nick Tilsley. How would you get up from a sofa?
Because I've found a similar, but crucially, much better paper.
Oh, chase me, chase me. Oh, crush a grape. New show, The Carrot or the Stick. No, not a show in which ginger-haired people are pitched against very thin people. No, although I'd pay to see that, yes. Chris Evans battling it out with Kate Moss, yes. In a paddling pool full of mud. It's a show in which two groups of men are put through their paces. One group are punished and never rewarded. That's the Stick Bunch. And the other rewarded but never punished. That's the Carrot Bunch.
Our 12 new recruits responded to an advert for men who lacked motivation.
Yeah, I was going to respond to that ad, but couldn't be bothered.
They're all either unemployed or unhappy with their jobs.
Wait a minute, unemployed or unhappy with their jobs? That's everybody, isn't it? That's life, right? You work every day, you get home, the kids are annoying, I resent you for being born. Get on with it, it doesn't get any better. That's why they invented booze. Here's one of the Stick instructors.
There's not much hope for them, really, to be honest.
I am the Team Sergeant Major. You will address me at all times as Sir.
Wait a minute, I've seen him before somewhere. It's the Hood from Thunderbirds. Unfortunately, it seems that Ewan of the Stick Bunch is one of those people without any bones.
Come on, push it! Come on, what's that bloody noise? It sounds
He's
like you're dying!
basically a mollusk. But the Carrot team have got a secret weapon, Graham Knight.
Lovely, well done. Sci-fi fanatic Graham from Lowestoft wants to prove to his girlfriend that he's tougher than he looks.
Yeah. Graham wants to prove to his girlfriend he can cut it with the big boys. There he goes, look, 4 stone of pure muscle. Here he is, leading from the front.
The Carrot team are working on their technique. They quickly realise that Graham is going to need some extra help.
Oh, how Graham's girlfriend must swoon.
But it's proving to be an even tougher hour for Cliff, who is once again carrying Graham.
I can almost see his girlfriend choosing the ring.
In peace, nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in your ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. today is the time to be a tiger.
Yeah, all right, darling. Yeah, I'll see you later. No, I'll stay over at your place. Yeah. Well, Graham's not back for weeks, is he? Yeah. I love you. Here's the Carrot Bunch enjoying an evening in.
Sounding good. Yeah.
Keep it going down, will you? The thing is, a big carrot you can use as a stick, can't you? Yeah, you leave a nasty bruise with a big carrot. You don't see so many ventriloquists on TV these days, do you? So I was pleased to see one join the team of Hollyoaks.
Is Mummy and Daddy coming home?
And here he is, look. Hello, Daddy. Oh, hello, Sonny. How are you enjoying Hollyoaks? Oh, there's lots of very nice ladies on it, Daddy. Oh, hang on, I can see a mark on that desk. Polish, clean, polish. Excuse me, Daddy, I don't like it. I resent the day you were born. You naughty boy! You naughty boy! Well, there was an identity crisis on Emmerdale this week.
I'm Marilyn Monroe.
Sort of a bit Marilyn Monroe-y.
Yeah, no, George Clooney.
Well, at a stretch, there are certain things you have in common with George Clooney.
And I'm Britney Spears.
No, you're not. No. How do you keep a girl on Emmerdale?
Would you care to join me? I've got a nice piece of ham.
Ham? Don't be ridiculous. Anyone knows you can't lure a girl with ham. What do women look for in a man? Well, we went out and about to find out.
What do I like in a man? Someone who knows their way around a cheese board.
I like someone who's got a good cheese selection.
Cheese, particularly Stilton.
Cheese is what they're after. Go on, Vicar. Ask her.
Oh, there's cheese?
He's got her interest. But could you be more specific?
Wensleydale, cheddar, brie.
No, I'm here to work.
Oh, if only you'd got some Stilton. Curse the cheese counter at that post office off-licence in general store. Down on Emmerdale, they had a special visitor. Yes, a stranger in town. Well, I say stranger, he soon made friends. Here he is, arriving at the Woolpack and ordering a drink.
Oh, please.
Then he goes and makes friends with a couple of girls.
I've been hunting high and low for you.
Sit down.
But he's not just friendly to young people. Yeah, have a good old chat with this old bloke, yeah. So, he's thinking, where shall I go now? Sit down here, yeah, talk to this bloke. So as far as I can see, the only person in the pub he hasn't talked to is the bull bloke. Oh. That makes him extra of the week. Actually, that's not fair. I haven't shown you the other contenders. Here's two on Coronation Street. There's this bloke on the bill.
You need to clear your head.
He's thinking, blimey, that looks like June and Jim off the bill. It was this one again on Emmerdale. Just watch how closely he follows his instructions.
Last orders!
You're probably like me and wonder what people in Emmerdale do in the evenings. Well, there's a video club. Yeah, I've got some of the titles here. Yeah, there's... what they got down in Emmerdale? Well, they got Jaws 3's just come out on video. That keeps them occupied. What's this one? Sex Lives of the Potato Men. Oh, it's on video already. I'm surprised to see that. And, what's this one? Oh, it hasn't got a title. Better pop it in and have a look, shall we?
You've got a phone in your hand.
Of course, Saving Private Ryan. Yes. Well, that's all we've got time for. And to sing us out from Carrot or the Stick, it's Graham Knight.
I am the one and only. Ain't nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. I am the one and only. Ain't nobody I'd rather be. I am the one and only. You can't take that away from me. One and only.
Shut up!
If you want to contribute to TV Burp, go to itv.com/Harry Hill.
Welcome to TV Burp. At the weekend, Britain chose its song for Europe. We go backstage at the Oscars as the cast of Finding Nemo get ready to party.
And that one's got none of it.
And Coronation Street put the mic back into microwave. The show they're all talking about is Something About Miriam, in which a transsexual tries to trick other men into liking her.
That decision is all up to Miriam, a J-Lo lookalike who's got it all.
She's got it all. That's the problem.
I wasn't born as a girl. I was born as a man.
Ouch! Oh, that must have been a long labour. Push! Push! Is it a boy or a girl? It's a man.
Yeah, hello, Mum. Yeah. Cool, my head hurts. You got any milk?
I've done a medical examination to Miriam, and I can confirm that she's got masculine genitals.
Masculine genitals? What? They got a beard and smoke a pipe?
If it was a question between someone who's fat and funny or fit and boring, you know, I'd always go for fat and funny.
Yeah, I'd rather have a fat and funny than thin and boring.
Quite like Julia Roberts.
Good old fat, funny Julia Tuballard Roberts. Here's Mark.
I'm a ladies' man. You could buy her a drink, or maybe 2 drinks, and she'd go off, and you spent like £6 on her, and do you know what I mean?
You know what it's like? You spend £6 and she never phones. You never see that money again. He's a ladies' man. What he doesn't know is that Miriam is a lady man. Mark's a talented songwriter. Here's one of his compositions.
Oceans apart, 6 lads on their way. Beautiful woman. Will be on one date. £10,000 at stake. Who's going to win? Only time will tell.
And? Oceans apart, 6 lads on their way. Beautiful woman on one date. £10,000 at stake. Who will win? Only time will tell. It's like a clue off 3, 2, 1, isn't it? I'm half expecting Ted Rogers to come out and go, right, oceans apart, 6 lads on their way. Well, that sounds like it could be a holiday, doesn't it? A beautiful woman on one date, £10,000 at stake, could be a cash prize, couldn't it? Who will win? Only time will tell. Well, could be some sort of carriage clock, couldn't it? But, you know, what rhymes with win? That's right, you've turned down the transsexual. I've managed to get hold of some of the poems Mark wrote whilst on Something About Miriam. You look, here we are, Mark's songs. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, Miriam, you are so pretty, I really fancy a grapple. I'll not be hurried, because I'm a little bit worried about the size of your Adam's apple. They're put through their paces by retired Army Sergeant Major Tanner, who quite likes the Army.
I felt that I was born when I joined the Army. I love the Army, and the Army loves me, still.
Yeah, all right, we get the idea. Look what a life in the Army does for you. Here he is as a young man. This is him after 22 years in the Army. Absolutely knackered. Looks about 70.
Don't panic, Mr. Manning. Don't panic. I love the Army. The Army loves me.
Here are the lads getting their first glimpse of the gorgeous Miriam.
If you'd like to take a look through these binoculars, you will see Miriam.
Yeah, but if you look a bit more closely... Their first night on the island and the lads have a bonding session.
Okay, this is gay, man.
We want a shot from that camera.
This is really gay, man.
Yeah, not as gay as this.
On EastEnders, it's more bad news for the nail bar, nail bar, nail bar.
I've had a
fork out for a plumber because there is a bad smell that is putting off my customers.
Have you tried changing the aftershave?
No, he actually thinks the problem is further along the sewer. He thinks it's underneath your nail bar.
Yeah, we always thought the idea stank. Now the nail bar itself has its own stink. The good news is she's got 2 customers. The problem is she's got a phone call too. What does she do?
Look, everyone, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to close. Family crisis.
Yeah, sorry, I have to close. Yeah, I can't concentrate with all that racket going on. People having their nails done. Here's the sign she put up on the door, look. Closed for phone call. Yeah. There's some other signs they did, other reasons why they had to close the shop. This one, look, closed due to Daddy Longlegs seen in loons. Closed due to good film on TV. And this one, closed due to lack of demand for nail bar. Elsewhere, Ronnie is feeling tired after his operation. But don't you hate it when your visitors just won't shut up?
Sorry, Boris, me, I'm just a bit tired. Karina been keeping you busy, yeah? Yeah, and Tarek. Great. That's all you needed. Look, Ash told me you weren't too keen. It's all right, Ronnie, I understand.
Yeah, all right, yeah, just a bit tired, that's all, yeah, just,
Ash and Karina have been trying to tell me how Tarek's changed.
Yeah, just a bit tired at the moment, I just...
It's me the one with the problem, because I can't put it all behind me and start playing happy families.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just...
I get it, man. I think I'm going to come round like all the other times, but...
Yeah, no, I get the... yeah. The thing is, I've just had an opera... Just a bit... Just... Please shut up. Please. Heartbeat now.
The investigation won't take long. And meanwhile, let's concentrate on calming things down, shall we?
Calm things down on Heartbeat? How could it get any calmer? I was watching a tape of it the other day, and it was half an hour before I realised I had it on pause. Staying with history programmes, it was Regency Night on Channel 4 over the weekend, featuring the badness of King George IV, in which we heard all about the bad people that King George used to hang out with.
People like Sir John Lade, whose wife Letty had been married to a highwayman who perished on the gallows. And then he was friends with the Barrymores.
What? Don't you hate it when you mistake a mole on your face for a fly on your mirror? Oh, not again. Oh, that's the 3rd mirror I've got through this week. Yeah, in the same way, Anita Harris accrued over 3,000 years bad luck. Handbrake, June! Handbrake! Handbrake, June! Handbrake! Handbrake! This week in the bill, there was a corridor slam contest. Yeah, in the red corner, it's Gabriel. In the blue corner, it's Jim.
Gabriel, you hell-bent on ruining June's life.
Round 1 to Gabriel.
Look, this is tough for you, but don't take it out on me.
Round 2 to Jim.
Was it best for her when you ran off and married an alcoholic while she was on holiday? That's got nothing to do with it.
Match goes to Gabriel. You know, every now and then there are abuses of police power. You know, it's understandable. You want the swimming pool to yourself.
Get out of the pool! I'm a policeman!
Isn't it strange how people end up looking like they're statues, though, eh? This was the divine Michelangelo. Now, they say Michelangelo was a genius for painting the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Took him 4 years, though, didn't it, eh? We've all had builders like that. I suspect he had another job on. Yeah. Never pay him up front, always get 2 quotes. He didn't just make stuff out of marble.
Hercules the Snowman. A work of art which will endure for 2 days?
Yeah, imagine living next door to Michelangelo. You've made your snowman, 2 pieces of coal for eyes, carrot for a nose. You're really pleased with it. You look over the garden fence and there's Michelangelo making his. What's the point? I'm going in to paint the ceiling. As part of the documentary, they tried to recreate Michelangelo's lost statue.
Well, how would you describe it? I think I tried to do a culprit who don't sleep very relaxing.
Eh?
I think I tried to do a culprit who don't sleep very relaxing.
Oh, you know, who don't sleep very relaxing. I thought that's what you said. They then take the statue to someone who will help to age it up.
The next stage is something Michelangelo would have known, in fact any faker would have known, and that's to use some organic matter on the surface of the marble. And here we've got a rather special ingredient. This is excrement. It's full of bacteria, exactly what you want. And live yoghurt, also full of bacteria.
Oh dear.
Disgusting.
Oh, it's like prison can't cook, won't cook. Here's a local priest getting all excited about sculpture.
If one walks around the back of the Christ in the crucifix in Santo Spirito and looks at the wonderfully pendulous, unequal buttocks...
There's something about Jesus.
I'm definitely a messiah sort of man. I like to have someone I can follow.
I was born to a virgin. My dad was God. Pretty soon I realized that I wasn't like the other boys.
Yeah, there's definitely something about him. Great hair. I'd definitely like to spend some more time with him.
40 days I was in that wilderness. It was quite a hard time for me. I discovered a lot about myself.
He's smaller than I thought he would be.
I love the army. The army loves me.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me down to lie on pastures green. That's it.
Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Chase me. Chase me. Let me go.
Yeah, there's something about him that's not quite right. I think he might just be a normal bloke. Hey, Punchers, can I have a word?
Mel Gibson, eat your heart out. The Passion of Christ. Ha! Well, Peter Jackson won Best Director for Lord of the Rings at the Oscars. But who is the best Antipodean film director? Mel Gibson or Peter Jackson? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break. Come on, you Scots! Welcome back. Channel 5 revealed plans to make At Home with Paul Daniels and Debbie McGee. Hot on the heels of Pop Idol and Fame Academy, BBC launches Train Idol. Woo-hoo! And it's been another fascinating week on TV.
Over the last few weeks, Nigel has been amassing the dozens of items of paperwork he requires for the formal handing over of the restaurant business from Christian Touchou to himself. Until it's officially registered in his name, Nigel is not allowed by French law to centralise the restaurant's bank account. If he can't sort it out quickly, the whole project could be thrown into jeopardy.
There's no business like show business like... Who cares? We're not interested in your paperwork. We've got problems of our own. In what possible sense is this entertaining? Let's see what's on the other side.
Skips are a great way of getting rid of your rubbish. To get one, look in your local directory for suppliers or on the internet. Skips come in lots of different sizes. If you're not sure what size you want, go and have a look at them. And remember, you always need a bigger size than you think.
Someone explaining how to hire a skip. Part of her explanation is, look in the phone book. Yeah, thanks for the tip. It's like having a programme about Italian cookery where they go through a selection of pizza leaflets. Yeah, that one's good, yeah. My brother had one from there once. He got a 3 litre of Coke. What's for pudding? Let's watch a bit more.
Last week, I showed you how to put stuff into your skip. This week, I'm going to show you how to put things out of the skip that you put in, but you didn't mean to.
Quentin Wilson is back with a series of Britain's Worst. Last week it was Britain's Worst Cooks, and they even struggled with some of the basics.
Finish the dish with a bit of this. Anybody know what that is?
Cheese. Some cheese.
Is it cheese?
What do you think?
Even something as ordinary as spag bol is totally beyond her.
The mincemeat doesn't come with any instructions.
The mince hasn't got any instructions. This is Tracy Root, who wins the crown of Britain's Worst Cook. Earlier, she's urged to be passionate about cooking.
I'm going to make you passionate in the kitchen.
Yeah. You bring George Clooney in here, I'll get passionate right in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're strictly George's type. He's been out with Catherine Zeta-Jones, Jennifer Aniston, Lucy Liu, Lisa Snowdon, Renée Zellweger and Tracy Root from Britain's Worst Cook. These Britain's Worst shows, they're just a bit of fun, you know. No one takes them seriously. Do they, Quentin?
You've both disappointed me. You're not eating it.
He's been down there eating Tommy's.
Eat it and be quiet, the pair of you. Eat it. Eat it. I said clear the plate. Eat it.
All right. Calm down, dear. Calm down, dear. Still, you can't fault Quentin. He certainly has a way with words.
It's barbarically early in the morning. Celebrity chef Ross Burden has just arrived, and he's so hungry he could eat the legs off a low-flying duck.
I'd like to see him try. He's so hungry, he could eat the wax out of a tramp's ears. He could eat the crumbs from Channel 5's table. Hello, I'm Quentin Wilson, and I used to present Top Gear on BBC Two. Then when that finished, instead of hanging on like Jeremy Clarkson and the others, I jumped ship to Channel 5. Then Top Gear came back. Welcome to Britain's Worst Career Move. On Emmerdale, they've decided to just give in and introduce comic book characters.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mystery.
And I'm the Riddler. What's he in for? Kryptonite allergy? Which brings us to our hardest garment to iron of the week. Hardest garment to iron of the week. Nicola's jumper on Emmerdale.
Yeah, I played a daft joke, that's all. You just didn't have the courage to tell him something you thought might be a nuisance.
Alan Turner's new girlfriend has a highly intuitive mind.
Alan Turner? Tom King?
You two know each other.
What do you think? How can you tell if someone's got piles or not? Well, there are the telltale signs.
Can't wait.
Isn't it weird how people end up looking like their carcasses, though, eh?
Not fair for who? She doesn't want to go.
Well, what have I got to offer, eh?
You know how when a meal goes wrong, you feel you just want to take it out on something?
You're dealing with Leroy. I don't mess about, I don't take no prisoners.
It's Britain's hardest, and Phil Mitchell's first job since leaving the square.
This is Britain's hardest. Now we take 6 men and test them against each other in power, strength and bottle to find out who is the hardest.
Let's have a look at some of the contestants.
Neil Pickup from Blackburn, an arm wrestling champion.
Arm wrestler, yes.
Mark Weir, a 34-year-old gym instructor and kickboxing supremo.
A kickboxer, yes.
Darren Bradley, a car salesman and father of 2.
Anything but the car salesman and father of 2.
Paul Leaning, butcher and DJ.
Butcher and DJ? There's a nice mix. Rump up the volume, rump up the volume. My beefsteak brings all the boys to the yard. Give me guidance from above. Tell me where is the lard. Okay, let's get in the moment.
Well, take a look in here and think of the hardest thing you can imagine.
Spelling test? 2 times table once, 2 is 2. No, it's gone.
Now, all the contestants have their number 2s to motivate them. Here's Looker Bailey's.
Looker Bailey has fellow doorman, smartly dressed Morris, as his number 2.
Smartly dressed Morris. And his brother, slightly less well-dressed Gavin. One of the challenges is to have their heads submerged in water.
The one big thing, other than age, that will really test the motorcycle mechanic is the simple fact that he can't swim.
Yeah, but it's only his head in the water. What, his head can't swim? I don't know about you, if I'm in trouble, what I like to do is just detach my body and allow my head to swim off. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Quentin.
I was just passing. I thought I'd pop in. I've got a cake and a bottle of wine.
It's a bit awkward at the moment, actually, Quentin. I've got the Stig and the Top Gear gang round. We're watching the Grand Prix.
Well, couldn't I join you?
The thing is, Quentin, I've got new friends now.
Please?
No! Leave me alone.
Eat it! Eat the cake! Making your mind up on Saturday night, the public chose our Song for Europe, helped, of course, by an expert panel. Or the blind leading the blind. Casualty did their bit too.
Well, Brother the Man won it in 76.
Well, what was the song?
Save all your kisses for me.
I wonder if one day that you say that you care.
What did that?
Sandy Shaw.
What did Brooks Fizz win?
Are you in that too?
Was it 80 or 81?
Making your mind up.
Well, I know that Lulu won in 1969. Boom, bang, a bang.
Suddenly everyone's an expert. Puppet on a string, making your mind up, save your kisses, boom, bang, a bang. There was one missing, wasn't there? What about Gemini? Our last year's entry that so famously scored naught. Airbrushed from history, not on this show. We're proud of them. Give them a big welcome. It's Gemini!
Simply the best. You're better than all the rest. You're better than anyone I've ever met. Stuck on your heart. Hang on every word you say. Oh, tear us apart now. Baby, I would rather be dead. Simply the best.
Here's Quentin.
If you want to contribute to TV Burp, go to itv.com/Harry Hill.
Welcome to TV Burp. Doctors reveal first successful transplant of a white hand onto a black body.
You've got everything for you on a plate. I mean, I see the girls waiting outside.
Kentucky Fried Chicken introduced new pick-your-own policy. Yeah, how quickly can you get from the front door to turn the lights on in the front room? It's new love for Nana Moon on EastEnders.
You see, darling, I can't because I'm going out with Wilfred.
She's fallen for the bloke of Lovejoy. Oh, nice to see you still got an interest in antiques. But Nana, here's some of the guys you turned down. There was our Norman from Balsall Heath. There was our Stan from Canby Island. And there was our Barry from Rill. our poor Nana, she's getting on a bit. She has to have her lines written on the insides of her eyelids.
Oh, yes. You know, I had that as a wedding present.
Yeah, here she is, a little earlier, trying to learn them. In this next clip, where would you say Paul was standing in relation to Nat?
And I realised that I was wrong. And you're doing the right thing, getting the lawyers onto Janine. And I'm behind you, 100%.
Now I'm behind you, 50%. Now I'm level with you. Now I'm in front of you, 100%. Oh, but we all still miss Barry, don't we? Barry, with these mad ideas.
Look at this. Do you remember when Barry talked his father into trying out music in the office?
Music in the office. Oh, the very idea. Oh, Barry, you're so mad, mad Barry. Oh, Barry, mad Barry. Next thing you know, he'll be hosting a game show over 24 hours.
Get you into the pub. Number 1. You're going in.
Here's Vicky getting all saucy with Ash.
So far, there's this one. And this one. And this one.
Where do you go for a bit of peace and quiet on the square? The swings, the allotments?
Listen, if you want to talk about your dad...
No, no thanks.
Or if you want to go for a drink or something...
No, I'd just rather be on my own. Do you mind?
You're not going back to work already, are you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
To the nail bar! Nail bar! Nail bar! It's finally dawning on Kate that the nail bar has not been the runaway success that we'd all hoped for.
Don't fancy staying open if there weren't any bookings.
Really?
Yeah. No. I don't know, I'm just starting to wonder what the point is. It's not exactly the thriving business I thought it was going to be, the centre of the community.
Yes, we'd all hoped it would be the centre of the community. I have a dream where men, women, children of all races, colours and creeds could all join together in the common pursuit of having their nails done. How are we doing? Oh, no bookings. She must wonder what life would have been like had the nail bar never existed.
I've been saving up, dear.
Sorry?
Saving up. Ooh. I thought you was a chemist. I've come in for some cough sweets. But once you're in, you can't run off, can you?
No.
Felt like a queen when I come out.
Yeah, Queen Victoria.
That's why I've been saving up. So I can come back.
I know how Kate feels. Sometimes I think the same about this show. What's the point of it all?
Oh, don't say that, Harry. I don't know what I'd do without TV Burp. Oh, it makes all the difference to me. I can't wait for it to come on. I've been saving up to come and see a recording, yeah. I had my nails done last week at Sophisticates. Do you like them?
Lovely.
Yeah, I felt like Queen Victoria when I came out. I bumped into the bloke from Lovejoy who tried to pinch me bottom. I've just paid out £7 grand on replacement windows too, and another 12,000 on having a washer replaced on the tap. Next week I'm having broadband installed. Do you know what that is? No, I don't. £30 a month.
And relax. I tell you what, if she likes you, Pat will do you a special breakfast at the cafe.
You used to come in here every Saturday morning. I know because I used to see you, all right?
So?
But Pat used to do you a nice big cooked breakfast. Extra trimmings. And that was special treatment because I used to see her do it.
Breakfast with all the trimmings. Trimmings? On a breakfast? Well, I've got one of Pat's special breakfasts here, then. Yeah. Let's have a look at it, shall we? There's egg, bacon, obviously, fried bread, some mushrooms, tomatoes, fresh and plum, some toast, a little bit of kidney, some black pudding there, of course, some beans, kippers, chips, some chops there, always nice, bread sauce, Yorkshire pudding, drumsticks, coleslaw, a little bit of salad, pickled onions, and, of course, a packet of fags. Yeah. That's full English breakfast there with all the trimmings. Staying with cooking, the full brain power of the Slater family is struggling to overcome a major obstacle.
I had this dream of, like, you know, a real big, home-cooked roast dinner. That was my absolute fantasy, that was.
You sad old bloke.
That was before I met you, of course, darling, yeah.
A roast, that's it. We've got that recipe book upstairs, haven't we, Nana?
Yeah, that difficult recipe, a roast. I've got a recipe. Get this down, Cat. Some meat and some veg.
You sure you can manage it on your own?
Are you saying there's something wrong with my cooking?
No, but a roast. I mean, it ain't easy.
No, it ain't easy. Basically, the instructions for a roast, you take some meat and some veg and heat them up. I mean, a caveman would be able to cook a roast. Question is, what have they got planned for pudding?
Yeah, Cat, what are you cooking for pudding?
Tonight I'm doing a recipe for ski yogurts, Nan.
Ski yogurts? You're mad, ain't ya? Ski yogurts ain't easy.
It's all right, I've done it before, Nan.
Have a word with yourself.
Here, Nan, how'd you get into them? There's no top to it.
I told you, you're mad trying a recipe like ski yogurts. You'll never get the top off. You ain't no expert.
I think the only way to get the ski open is to... Sorry, Nan.
That's all right, Cat. Them's delicious. Here, what's the time? That roast should be ready any minute.
As Something About Miriam continues, spot the clever one.
They're going to come back into here, get your running kit on, and if you look to your left, you'll see Miriam.
On Casualty, they've instigated tag team acting. As one actor tires, he's just swapped with someone who's dressed exactly the same.
Leave her alone, Jim.
This week saw a patient who had become so fat, her toes had died.
BP seems to still be dropping, and I've put on a litre of saline. She's got gangrene in both her feet.
My God.
Yeah, it's quite advanced, and I'm afraid when I took the left sock off, a few toes came away.
It's easily done.
She's got such lovely feet. Don't laugh.
No, to be fair, she was caught in this very difficult position.
Eating made her happy. Being overweight made her sad.
Well, the answer to that one, eat yourself. Tow anyone? Isn't it weird how people end up looking like their front doors, though, eh?
Everyone in our...
Which brings us to club reps, or pikey world, as I call it. So Rita's had some difficulty making L plates for a hen night.
Wanted some L plates. Nowhere's got any L plates. I don't know if maybe learner in Spanish means something else.
Learner means something else in Spanish. Yeah, the word for learner in Spanish means felt-tip pen in the eye. I wonder what the Spanish word is for brain. No, probably means something else. Now, some people have difficulty spelling words. Fair enough.
How many L plates you doing?
4, but I did that one wrong.
But letters? Can't spell letters? That's 6 years at Cheltenham Ladies' College wasted. Here's some of her chums.
Sometimes maybe a little bit. This is what we're doing, this is how it is. But she doesn't mean it, she's just so into her work.
How do you spell L?
Over on the other side of town, Johnny Hormone has some of his own smells to deal with.
Give the pets a bit of a good wash, so I'm not stinking of BO tonight.
Luck be a lady tonight. Well, I spotted a new character on Coronation Street this week. Yeah, this gas canister, look.
So is Maria back at your place then?
Yeah, the gas canister. That's her without makeup, which you hardly ever see. We spent a whole day in her company.
I'll see you in the canteen later.
Morning, love. Tired. It's a busy night. I know. That's the trouble with families, though, isn't it, love? Do you know, I always say you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Right. Yeah. How's that? You all right? Yeah. It's looking good. Put that holiday then, have you, love?
This for you today.
Hello there, I am sorry to hurry you, but we do have a lot to get through this morning. Now, your first scene's with Steve MacDonald in the cab office, and you go through that door there. And action! A word without cover.
Well, we had jockey Kieran Fallon in a scuffle with the press, supercad James Hewitt at a grapple with a photographer, but who is the best at preserving their privacy through fisticuffs? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break. Go on, give it some, Gavin. Welcome back. And after winning Channel 5's Back to Reality, James Hewitt lands lucrative sponsorship deal. Right hands up. Crafts, the recriminations start. Down at the Fit Club, Vanessa Felt's problem revealed. And race-fixing probe, police go undercover. There was a scary fish-eyed biker on Heartbeat. And a scary pig-faced biker right behind him.
Oh, go to hell!
It's ironic, really. It's called Heartbeat, yet it's watched mainly by people without one. There's one copper on Heartbeat who I think is just too underweight for the job.
You having second thoughts about going home?
No, I'm fine, honestly.
Thin as a rake, just sitting there looking listless. He must be ill or something. He's positively gaunt. Policemen need to play it cool, but sometimes there are telltale signs that one is pleased to see you. He sort of wags his tail.
Did you call Ashford for backup?
Yes, Sarge. Also, Bellamy's in the area.
Good news! Alan de Botton's got a new show. Alan de, you know, he's a philosopher with a new show, Status Anxiety, and he gets a better class of guest.
You guys familiar with Dateline? They voted him Personality of the Week 8 years ago.
Personality of the Week 8 years ago. Let's see what won him that most coveted of awards.
Do your Sean Connery, you did.
Miss Molly Pitt? No. I don't know, well, no. Well, Miss Money Pitt. I'm so glad, no. As long as the day's here, I look for Money Penny, whatever I can do. Well, that's not
You did a terrific job.
Yeah, we all remember that line from the Bond films, don't we? Well, Miss Moneypenny, as long as the day is here, I'll look for Moneypenny wherever I can go. Dr. No, Dr. Nevermore, like. Learner drivers, the day-to-day story of people who can't drive learning to drive. Where's the obvious place to get a bit of practice in?
Tomorrow, Angela is hoping to chuck away the L plates forever. Mo is keeping his promise and allowing her to get in more practice.
Of course, Longleat Safari Park. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week. The Mia family having a good old sing-song. Yeah, practice your three-point turn in the lion enclosure. There's always a monkey on hand to adjust your wing mirror.
Mo, he's got the
What are the chances of that happening? I can just see him being stopped on the way home. Yes, you're a learner driver, so where are your L plates? Monkey stole them. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to accompany me to the station for a blood test. What they need is Sarita from Club Reps. Here's Roy Dawes now. If he passes his test, he's been promised a very special prize.
Roy has blagged his way into a free go in one of the fastest and most expensive sports cars in the world.
Yeah, they can go them Nissan Micras, can't they? Oh, as the powerful 800cc engine roars into life. What we really tune in for on these type of shows is the arguments.
What part of I don't like roundabouts did you not understand?
You've got to go round a roundabout at one point, didn't you understand?
Yeah, what part of overuse of the phrase, what part of don't you understand, don't you understand? It is difficult when taking your driving test. You don't know quite what to talk about with the examiner.
So what would you normally be doing Saturday?
Well, not this.
Not this.
What would you be doing?
Doing tests.
Yeah, doing tests, yeah. I'm the examiner, yeah. And this thing we're on at the moment is called a driving test. Emmerdale now. Who are all those people in the titles? A lady and a baby. Those two, I've never seen them before. Slaps him around the face. Who's she? He's never been in the Woolpack. Was a boxer? What's going on? What are they laughing at? None of them are in it. It gets worse as it goes on. What's the international sign language for waitressing?
Yeah, 1 minute she's asking me to have a word with her, the next I walk in there, find a waitressing.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Chastity was getting confused.
I am missing dinner with my niece for this.
Can we have less acting and more serving, please?
Yeah, less acting and more... Hang on, less acting on Emmerdale? How's that possible? Take a look at this. You're carrying some important papers when...
I don't know how you've made the time to help him.
Oh, brotherly love. That's what it is.
Oh, dear, you throw them onto the floor.
That's what it is.
I'm going to drop them, I'm going to drop them. Oh, dear. Oh, I hope I have better luck with the pans. Oh, he's knocked the fan off. Try not to knock the pan off. Oh, I've knocked it off. Look, oh, I've managed to pick up my papers and... Oh, I've knocked the pans off as well. Oh, I'm so clumsy. To be fair, some of them are pulling their weight in the acting stakes.
Marlon! Lanky Marlon!
Daylight come and I wanna go home.
Marlon! Lanky Marlon!
Daylight come and I wanna go home. Of course, you get the most acting for your money on Corrie, don't you?
I thought of that.
Poor old Janice got herself stuck in a fire in the knicker factory, Underworld. No, be fair, she did try to put it out by putting some more knickers on it, but it didn't work. Wait a minute, I've seen that before somewhere. Well, that's all we've got time for, and to sing us out, it's the Mia family from Learner Drivers.
Big monkey man, ay, 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 ay. You're hugging like a big monkey man. You're hugging like a big monkey man. Ay, ay, ay,
I'm sorry, darling. It just feels wrong. Welcome to TV Burp. New milkman down at Sun Hill. Hey, look out! Property chain, Ronnie Corbett moves house. On if, new human clock replacement for Countdown. And baby born with giant hand on Holby. Footballers' wives, and the pace really picked up as Tanya managed to stare Frank to death. Yeah, actually, they didn't show you what happened after that. She keeps on staring and... Oh, Miss Frank, you always made such sense.
Oh, no, I can't.
What's that, Frank?
Oh, no, I can't.
Huh?
Oh, no, I
can't. Elsewhere on Footballers' Wives, there were regrets over a shared fudge bar.
One finger.
Never again. EastEnders now, and a special guest appearance from a Hollywood actor in the Queen Vic.
What can I get you, ladies?
All right. It's Woody Allen, look. Meanwhile, Nana Moon's romance goes from strength to strength.
What do you think of my new hat?
You bought it? Very fetching.
Wilfred says I look like Audrey Hepburn.
And he looks like the bloke off Lovejoy.
So beautiful.
Ah, so handsome.
Yeah, if you like the giant baby look. Battle Station, in which we learned how the stealth fighter, invisible to radar, was developed.
The F-117 is the world's only stealth fighter, and that makes us the best.
It is the queen on the chessboard. When the F-117 moves, people notice.
I thought it wasn't supposed to be noticed. I thought that was the point of it. Well, I'm rather excited this week. I discovered a new character on the bill that we haven't ever seen. Klops! There's a Cyclops! Yeah, here he is, look. Yeah, there's quite a few of them in the force since they relaxed the eye restrictions. They tend to look after the police unicorns. You know, there's such a quick turnaround making a bill that the actors are having to put in their own edits manually.
Does
There's nothing I can do for you now.
Just leave me alone.
Sheila! Please!
Which brings us to our extra of the week. Mrs. Coombs on the bill.
Mrs. Coombs.
Here, how would you describe a funeral?
It were like a party, but the guest of honour were dead.
Yeah, a bit like that, I suppose. Yes, it was Hollyoaks, and Bombhead's auntie died in a rather unusual way.
Explain.
Well, when my auntie combusted last year, we all got together and talked about his memories of her.
Emmerdale, and the dingle baby has a rare condition that is turning it into an eel.
I don't know how they can tell that, though. He's been asleep most of today.
Oh, that's probably part of the eeling process.
Simon overdosed on Geordie tablets.
Oh, away, man, woman, man, you're trembling with excitement.
Oh, away, man, woman, man, bigger man, thief. What strange language is Rodney speaking in the wool pack?
Yeah, merci. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you too. A bientôt.
Where are you off to, then?
Where are you off to? Spain? Germany? Italy? Denmark? No, oh, France, yeah. Give me a clue. And Marlon built a touching shrine to his lost love.
What's that behind you?
Some things.
May I see?
Five candles, a cushion, and a teddy in a chef's hat. Well done. Well done, Marlon. It's like the stuff the Sue Ryder shop turned down. Yeah, sorry, we're not taking any more teddies. Have you tried Scope? Bob was on top form, the old romantic.
Soon as she's picked him up, we will have the place to ourselves. And I've got the evening off. I've got a bottle of peppermint foot lotion, and I've got that Dr. Hook CD you bought me for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I've got a headache, Bob, sorry. Yeah. It was like, who do you do down on Emmerdale this week? Sam did Jimmy Savile.
She's kept him warm.
Bob did Brucey.
Say no more, my love. Consider the fort manned.
Then Sam did Jimmy Savile again.
What you got them bins on for? Have you joined the rock band or something?
Then Bob did Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Can't do what, my precious?
Everything.
And Emily did her usual Orville impression.
I'm not the same nervous girl who walked into the shop 4 years ago. I'm a different nervous girl who isn't nervous anymore.
I wish I could fly. Top of the sky, but you can't.
Bob's not just a talented impressionist either. He has an uncanny ability as a songwriter. A song for every occasion.
Here they are. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Mwah! They've developed some Bob from Emmerdale singing greetings cards, which we've managed to get hold of, yeah. This first one, Bob says, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
That's the one. And Bob says, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
And this last one, with deepest sympathy.
I'm sorry to hear about your sad lossy loss.
Bob from Emmerdale singing greetings cards there. And of course, Terry is now on the mend, and things were looking up.
I've got to go into Leeds tomorrow for an interview for a job with the bank.
Hey, that's great news.
More champagne, Diane.
He's got an interview for a job! Crack open the champagne! It's in the bag!
How did it go?
Brilliant. I sailed through it. I think I got the job.
He sailed through! He's got the job! There's no question about it!
I didn't get the job.
Shame, yes. Never mind. We'll keep. Who kidnapped Shergar now? And if you thought John McKirrick looked weird now, take a look at him back in the 80s.
No one is going to get it.
Oh, the join with the sideburns is seamless.
They won't get it.
John McKirrick, wasn't he the Elephant Man? Oh, no, that's John Merrick, of course.
Yeah, we'll get those two mixed up.
Let's see a bit of Shergar in action.
It is the first derby for both Shergar and his 19-year-old jockey Walter Swinburne.
My advice is always bet on the Volvo. As part of this documentary, we were introduced to Shergar's vet, who was told to report to a Dublin hotel and give a code name.
I was asked, would I go up to the Crofton Hotel? And I was to go to the hotel, I was to go to the reception and ask for a message for Johnny Logan, the singer.
But you are what's another year?
Yeah, Stan Cosgrove, Johnny Logan, you can hardly tell them apart. Of course, Shergar was insured, but there was a problem.
The Norwich Union wouldn't accept the horse was dead, except I could produce evidence, and that meant I had to find his body.
Quote me happy. Hello, Norwich Union. No, you're not covered, no. No, you've got to find the body of the horse yourself. Yeah, bring it round, we'll have a look at it, and we'll let you know. Yeah, we can provide you with a courtesy racehorse in the meantime.
I would never, ever have anything to do with Norwich Union. Anything.
Calm down there, calm down there. So you can imagine, this Stan Cosgrove is out of pocket, but he's not bitter.
I never want to hear about this horse again. I don't want to hear about him ever again.
Oh, go on, just once more.
This is the last time I'm ever going to talk about it. Anybody ever ask me again? No.
All right, keep your hair on. So, the world's most valuable racehorse is kidnapped. Who do you set on the trail of the kidnappers? And none other than crack detective Chief Superintendent James Murphy.
Chief Superintendent James Murphy was put on the kidnappers' trail. The local policeman knew that this was the biggest case of his career.
Well, I'm slightly concerned about it.
I'm slightly concerned. Oh, don't worry, it'll turn up. What's the main concern?
A stallion cannot be kept by people who are not well up in the horsey field.
It might be all right keeping in a horsey box, but not in a horsey field. You're watching this, you're thinking, with this bloke in charge, how come they never found Shergar? The kidnappers, they must have been quaking in their boots.
Do you have any leads at the moment?
I have no leads.
Absolutely nothing. So, how do you go about gathering information for such a search?
It would appear from the reports on last night's news bulletins during the interview with Mr. Maxwell that the people were the people concerned.
Yeah. You watch the news, do you? If there's any sign of Shergar, it'd be on the news, wouldn't it? Is there anything on the news? Oh, look, there's a man in a chubby looking for Shergar. I'll ask him. Oh, it's me. If it's not on the news, I guess you've got to gather clues, interview witnesses.
Well, between diviners, clairvoyants and psychic persons.
Yes. If it's not on the news, you phone Mystic Meg. And the result of all this detective work?
Are you any further ahead than you were yesterday?
I regret to say that I'm not.
Although I think there's a clue in this clip. I think I can hear a cry for help.
It's probably the biggest hunt the country has ever known.
The search for Shergar is nationwide.
Come over here! Come over here! I'm in the back of this van! Help! See, I think this Chief Superintendent James Murphy would have made a great TV detective. You've got to have a gimmick, right? Inspector Morse had his jag, Kojak had his lollipop. What do you associate with Chief Superintendent James Murphy? Well, Shergar. I've got no leads. Let's go.
Well, Murphy, sugar, are you any further ahead?
I regret to say, no. Well, this week sees the launch of the new Starsky and Hutch movie. But who's the best, the new Starsky and Hutch or the old Starsky and Hutch? There's only one way to find out. Come on, lads! See you after the break. Welcome back. Sonia on Corrie reveals diet secrets.
Grease, lager, grease.
And new protests down at Channel 4 over Graham Norton's latest series.
Norton out!
And Tiny Nurse spotted on Holby.
How long has it been?
Where is she?
4 minutes.
Where is she? There she is, look. Meanwhile, in Casualty, they're back on top form. Now, you know Casualty, where they have that opening scene, you're looking at it thinking, I know there's going to be an accident, it's Casualty after all, but I just can't see how it might happen. There's a man under a boat, but how on earth could that cause someone to end up in Casualty? The boat falls on the man. Why didn't I think of that? So we had the boy trapped under the boat, but there was a bonus story of the identical twins. These were special twins. When one felt something, the other felt it too.
No pulse. Right, shocking at 360. Charging. All clear? Clear. Shocking.
Yeah. I can sympathise with that because I've got a twin. Yes, Barry. Yeah, the same thing happens with me. Oh, it's coming through me. It's coming through me. Let me just... Barry, what were you doing just then? Oh, bobbing for apples. Okay, yeah. Is it a village fete? Now, I know everyone thinks of them as mouth-breathing parasites, but you know, I'm really beginning to warm to some of the club reps. For instance, Mickey, as he tackles the challenging task of getting some A4 paper into an A4 folder.
Saturday night, 10 to 12. It's almost Mickey's 21st birthday, but tonight's airport night and it's business as usual. Mickey has no idea that the next 36 hours will be the most amazing of his life.
And of course, Max, who is in for a hernia operation.
I've got a hernia, apparently, so I don't know how I've done that.
Yeah, I can't think how I might have got a hernia.
Max takes it to the max every night.
For one lucky bunch, it's the end of the holidays and they get customer satisfaction forms.
As it's the last day of their holiday, Jenna gives the group their customer satisfaction questionnaires.
Customer satisfaction forms for an 18 to 30. I've got one here, look. Let's have a look. Right, question 1. How many times were you sick? 1, 10 times. 2, 15 times. 3, more than that. OK, tick that. How much of it can you remember? 1, none of it. 2, bits of it. 3, just the bits where I was being sick. Here's another one. What have you learnt about the people's customs and culture of Gran Canaria? 1, nothing. 2, don't understand. Right, let's pop that in the... It's harder than it looks, that. Heartbeat now, and there's a new doctor on the block.
Now, don't tell anyone I give it to you. My job could be at risk. I just thought you should know what's a foot doctor.
Foot doctor? That's a croppedist, isn't it? Of course, the 60s were a time for experimentation. You could get new ideas off the ground in the 60s that would be laughed at today. I mean, take, for instance, the all-in-one jumper chair.
I hope you might...
It's a jumper, but also doubles up as a chair. Never get it off the ground these days. It's like me, you wouldn't know to look at me now, but I'm wearing one of the very last pairs of poof trousers. And relax. Yes, the poof trousers there. Now, just imagine you're Michael Parkinson for a minute. Yes, here we go. Settling down to watch telly for the evening. Jamie Cullum, Billy Connolly, Judy Dench, Billy Connolly. I just put the TV on, and
This will be the first of many parts. You could be on Parkinson one day if it's still alive.
Billy Connolly! Not nice, is it? Poor Parky, a shot like that could finish him off. No, it's Sally giving daughter Rosie a pep talk before the big school production of Grease. And Sally's very excited.
La 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 la. Come on, Rosie, make you feel better. After 3, or 1, 2, 3. La 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 la.
Yeah, we get the idea. Yeah, we get the idea. It makes you just want to... I feel so much better for that. Actually, while I'm at it, Steve McDonald's been winding me up this week. Where's that nappy bag? All these soaps, a lot of the action revolves around the pub, but they never seem to stop the run-of-the-mill beers, do they?
Sorry. No, that's all right. Can I have 2 bottles of Stelberg, please?
Stelberg? What's that? A cross between Stella and Carlsberg? 2 bottles of Stelberg, a bottle of Fostweiser, and a half a guinea kid. Yeah. You got any nisps or cruts? Where are the drivers now? And here's a good name for a driving instructor.
Michelle Skidmore, Roy's instructor, won't know about the accident.
Michelle Skidmore, who works closely alongside Alan Crashalot. But hang on, I recognise this instructor. It's David Bowie. It's the Glam Rock School of Motoring. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. And to sing us out, 3 times winner of the Eurovision Song Contest for Ireland, Johnny Logan.
What's another year to someone who's lost everything that he owns? And what's another year to someone who's getting used to being alone? I've been crying such a long, long time, with such a lot of pain in every tear. What's another year? What's another year? What's another year?
So tell me, Shaker, what did happen all them years ago?
I did it for the insurance. It wouldn't pay out. Flaming Norwich Union.
Welcome to TV Burp, face transplant on Holby.
You all set?
And in the same show, the curious case of the disappearing patient. There she is, look, being wheeled off. And gone. They're employing human road signs on Emmerdale.
Slow down! Emmerdale welcomes careful drivers.
Maximum speed, 30 miles an hour. Give way! Give way! Siamese twins make special guest appearance on Coronation Street. Between them, Corrie and Emmerdale really hammered home the old northern lingo this week.
Any news on the insurance?
Marvellous thing about the internet.
You've had a face on you like a prize heifer on its way to the abattoir.
There's no picture because the aerial needs to be routed through video to set, not the other way round.
All right, we get side deer. I say we get side deer. Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba. Fred's little grandson Joshua could have been on Kids Stars in their eyes.
How did you know?
I went pub when it happened.
Oh, yeah, you butler. As a butcher, Fred likes to let you know what meat he's eating by making the sound of the animal that the meat's come off. Here he is after a nice lamb sandwich. What's this dog been eating?
You put your head right close.
Oh, yes, it's a life of grime. And we were introduced to Tim, the rat catcher, who offered us rare insights into the life of the rat.
They're a very social animal, the rat. Believe it or not, they'll have periods of activity, periods of sex, they'll have then periods of rest, and then more activity and out looking for food.
Sex! He's clearly very fond of rats in his own way. Shame then that he has to go out and kill them. He's killed that one. He's surrendering, look. He's got his hands up. Rat fans.
Another bag of rats. Seem to be collecting rats just lately. This is certainly an Indiana Jones exercise, isn't it?
Yeah, we all remember that one, don't we? Indiana Jones and the carrier bag full of rats. He doesn't just chew open spaces, though, no. He clears rats from buildings, too.
It's known as a bathhouse. People would come here in the old days and shower and bathe.
It's Tim's guide to places of historic interest.
This is the Tower of London, which is a tower, and it's situated in London. On your left, Nelson's column, a tall column with a man in a hat on it, called Nelson.
New hospital drama, No Angels, on Channel 4. What do you take in when you're visiting a sick relative?
All right, Mum.
It's Tim's bag of rats from A Life of Crime.
Ooh, Battenberg.
Rattenberg, more like. But of course, you can't beat Holby. They had someone in this week for a lung transplant.
Get well soon. Hope you like your new lungs. Love class 3A.
Yeah, hope you like your new lungs. Yeah, they had to make that card because they were right out of hope you like your new lungs cards down the newsagents. Yeah. Well, we've got a sorry to hear about your enlarged prostate card. Or congratulations on your hemorrhoidectomy card. We're right out of lungens. You try bullies. Meanwhile, on Footballers' Wives, the new script arrives. Things went up a gear this week as we discovered Conrad's sexual preferences.
I like sex. Man, woman, banana.
So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me.
That Tanya, though, she's pretty thick-skinned.
Tima better pay off if I'm going to live the way he wanted me to.
You can put out fags on her face. Amber's had to go undercover. She dons a pair of sunglasses and, well, can you place this accent?
Here we have the sunbeds.
Jess,
I never use this sunbed, but here in this country, I need it.
Mongo, they drink it in the Congo. She's a desperate woman, and she's had to resort to voodoo. Yeah, it doesn't look that much like Tanya, does it? Looks more like Vanessa Feltz. Taxi Nights now, in which we follow the adventures of taxi drivers and the people they give rides to. Great. And you know, when you're listening to a song and you're trying to sing along, but you're so drunk, there's a time delay between your brain hearing the words and it telling your mouth to sing them.
Oh, what a night! December, back in Says, what a very
Oh, what a night! It was late December back in '63. Was a very special time for me. Drunk singing, great fun. The story of Noah now, in which Jeremy Bowen, off Breakfast Time, attempts to prove or disprove a Bible story.
It was part of my childhood, and it was probably part of yours. It's one of the great myths of human history.
Yeah, you think, well, the story of Noah, it's not the hardest one to disprove, is it?
Unless you make a leap of faith, the traditional Noah story doesn't pass any kind of rational historical test. Maybe it was never meant to. Maybe it was all made up.
He's got a nerve, hasn't he? You can imagine God up in heaven absolutely fuming. I don't mind him having a part, right? Questioning and that, but put someone decent onto it. I mean, Attenborough, Dimbleby, Jeremy Bowen, off Breakfast Time. You're having a laugh, aren't you? But no, off he goes to find out if Noah's Ark existed. Could it be that 4,000 years ago a man built a boat big enough to house 50 million different species, float around the earth for a while, everyone killed, land on a mountain, everyone out, start again? Is it true, Jeremy? Is it true? My brain hurts. Hello, I'm Jeremy Bowen, and this week I'm going to discover whether the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears could actually have happened. Let's start at the beginning. Three bears living in a house together. Is that likely or even possible?
Well, the idea that three bears would live together in one house is extremely unlikely. As studies have shown, bears have extreme difficulty in remembering where they have left their keys.
No, it's much more likely that they would just create chaos in their frustration. They would lash out and knock things off themselves, such as an ornamental doll. Or even a saucepan, such as this, which may be used to cook porridge in. And what are the chances of a bear actually being able to cook porridge?
No, I can't see that happening. Even if they were able to steal some porridge from Asda and get it into a pan, they wouldn't then be able to get the milk carton open. I think the bear would lose it and throw uncooked porridge flakes everywhere.
So, that's the bear side of it. But what of Goldilocks? Could a young girl have gained access to a bear's house, eaten its food, broken its furniture, and then slept in its bed?
Nein, impossible, a little girl. Don't make me laugh.
Certainly not a girl. But what about a tiny shaved pig in a blonde wig?
Now you're talking. It's a shaved pig. Yeah, perfectly possible.
We know for a fact that pigs were shaved for festivals. And maybe if a wig got caught on one, then yes, it's perfectly possible.
And outside this reconstruction of what we think a bear's house would look like, inside is a bear. I've got with me my tiny shaved pig in a blonde wig. Let's see what happens when we go in. Well, I certainly didn't expect that. So who is better, Jeremy Bowen or God? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break. Go on, God, give it some! Welcome back. Emmerdale introduced new version for dogs. Broke-off Bo Selector makes surprise appearance on Heartbeat. My Family, the public have their say. On Corrie's slangy match between Liz and Karen.
Because he deserves better than a common little tart who'll drop her knickers for any man who whips out his wallet.
Round one to Liz.
The gobby, brawling little slapper that you really are.
Round two to Liz.
You scum, Karen. Selfish, lying, cheating, money-grabbing scum.
Round three to Liz. Knockout to Pat. Here, do you ever get that dream where Pat Butcher is beautiful and gets a special delivery of spring onions? New series, If, which uses a mixture of fact and fiction to scare pensioners.
The Home Secretary has declared a state of emergency. The government is advising people not to leave their homes unless absolutely necessary.
That was from week one. What if there was a big power cut? This week it was, what if the generations fall out?
Old people are dying less.
No, they're not.
We work with science.
It's Anne Robinson and her new face.
Deriving, for example, of muscle vaccines, which will be injected into the muscle to make them super strong and super youthful.
No, they won't.
You will see the emergence of cosmeceuticals, which are cosmetics and medicines working together to make you younger.
Don't be ridiculous.
Instead of having Botox, you have Photox.
You're just making out now. In the future, there will be a magic egg that when you touch it, you look just like Melinda Messenger, only smaller. There'll be a special type of hanky that looks like a wet wipe, but when you blow your nose, you'll automatically solve third world debt.
You can almost smell the petrol. Bifocal windscreens and predictive steering option.
Bifocal windscreens? That's a brilliant idea, because you're probably like me. You'd turn up to the drive-in movie and think, oh, I've left my reading car at home. What if the BBC commissions a series where they make stuff up and pretend it's gonna happen? All right, let's just stick with it. They predict a world where the pensioners take control. Let's have a look at some of the slogans. Help, we are drowning in council tax. Play fair, can't pay, won't pay. Great power protest, pensioners lobby MPs for fair deal. Do you think our rates on the community tax are too high? If you want to do something about it, then you can. Beware the middle class backlash. When do we want it? Now. See, they're the baby boomer generation that have grown up. They're naturally militant. They grew up listening to the protest singers like Bob Dylan.
Half-racked prejudice.
They put the lyrics up so we can sing along then.
Rip down all haters.
For more information on tonight's scenario, digital viewers press red or go to CFAX page 155. All you can reliably say about the future is that TV is just going to get better and better. Which brings us to club reps. And Lou's in hospital with a kidney problem.
Well, they reckon, the doctors reckon, it's brought on by overdoing it. It can be brought on by too much caffeine, too much salt, too much red meat. So it could be a number of things, because I do all of them.
So what does Sarita bring in for her?
Got 2 burgers with some Kit Kats, a can of Coke, pizza fries.
Get well soon! Murder City, the new ITV cop show.
Yes, he was here yesterday. Likes to be Anne Margaret.
Has Anne Margaret been in? Oh, there you are, Anne. Oh, you look different, Anne. You've done something with your hair. Which brings us to There's Something About Miriam, a transsexual, woman above the waist, man below, and half a dozen fellas all staying in the one flat. I don't know. The more I see of Miriam, the more clues she's giving out. Flat cap, a briar pipe. Yes, she's got a whippet tied up round the back. She'd have to get into some of those outfits. Meanwhile, keep up. Meanwhile, the fellas are beginning to fall out.
Tom, come on. Sit. There's a lot of testosterone in that room.
Yeah, there's a lot of testosterone in her room as well. There was much excitement down in Emmerdale.
Look, darling, wine.
Look, darling, in the sky, a metal bird. What witchcraft is this? What's that black box with little people in that come alive and attach it to the wall with a magic string? It was Marlon's birthday, too.
This is for you.
What is it?
Birthday card. It's just a silly thing from the shop. Mrs. Hope seems to like the rude ones. I can never think of anything original to write, so it just says, Happy birthday, Marlon.
Don't spoil it for him. Hey, Marlon, how are you going to spend your birthday?
Can I get you any breakfast?
No, I think I'll just go back to bed, you know. Read my card and that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. I'll kill half a minute. You know, when there's an uncomfortable lull in the conversation, you're not quite sure of the best way to break that awkward silence.
I killed a girl once.
Yeah. Better go and check on the dinner. Yeah, We saw Paul there in pensive mood. You wouldn't think it was the same man who a little later was offering free piggyback rides in the Queen Vic. Wellard was back.
You're a surprise as well. Yeah, I've got you some scraps. You like
Scraps, great, my favourite. This week, Wellard joined in with the conversation.
Is Julie in trouble?
Yeah. Any chance of a biscuit? I say, any chance of a biscuit? Just to take the taste of the dog food away.
I don't know why. No one ever gives dogs chewing gum. It'd be perfect for them, wouldn't it? Don't do it, kids. Don't do it. Don't give your dog chewing gum. It's bad enough them messing on the pavement without them leaving their chewing gum on it as well. Isn't it weird how people end up looking like their fuse boxes, though, eh?
Sorry, I'm just worried about Lynn at the moment. I mean, she's in the right.
Let's just put a few things straight, shall we?
Now, I've warned you, Paul. Get off his back. It was an accident. You know, there are other pubs.
No, there aren't.
The kitchen isn't any as bad as in here. Surprised anybody stays.
They don't. Charlie Slater's out of stir. Yeah, he's keeping a low profile by wearing a purple jumper against a purple door and hoping that no one notices him. He's naturally a bit depressed, so what does he do to cheer himself up? He sits down to watch Changing Rooms. Yeah, not as good as it used to be, is it? Since Carol left. Which brings us to our Extra of the Week. Jay-Z, the log. And we've got him here, look. How you doing, man? How you enjoying EastEnders? You're kidding me, man. man. I love it. Who you been hanging out with, Paul or the Ferreiras? I've been chilling with Well Up, man. Yeah, he's chill, man. Yo, I like Pat. I don't like Nat, I like Doc. But Nana's boyfriend looks like he should be sleeping in a big cot. He looks like a big baby, man. No one booked in at the B&B. It's quieter than the nail bar on a bank holiday. Janini's a killer queen, but I think it's better without Barry or Roy. Alfie, man, he's just plain annoying. Jay-Z's a log there. Well, we all have a dream of an ideal world, I guess.
We should be teaming up with baseball bats and banging him into the ground.
In an ideal world, we'd do that.
In an ideal world, we'll be free to choose. We can beat people into the ground with the baseball bat. Who remembers when we used to like Alfie Moon?
To most people, just plain old Alfie Moon, pub landlord, but in time of crisis, he becomes Moon Man Superhero! And with his magic powers of persuasion and his pants outside of his tights, he can conjure up $7.5 grand quicker than you can say massive lunchbox. Did it?
I found out why Alfie is the way he is.
This is Graham we're talking about.
He's the devil! Well, as you know, my marriage broke down in the week, but the good news is I've got a blind date. Yes, she should be turning up any minute.
Hi, Harry. I'm here.
Miriam? I know all there is to know about the crying game. My share of the crying game. First there are kisses, then there are sighs, and then before you know where you are, you're saying goodbye. I know all there is to know about the crying game. Crying game. I've come here to old Mesopotamia to ask, was the Bible just a load of baloney?
Don't fuck with me, Bowen.
Stripped of pilot's license.
Tell Dad!
Police demonstrate new communication skills in the bill.
We are police. No, Nino.
And with Lily Savage set to take over Generation Game, audition start for the job of Anthea.
Got a choice now?
No, mate, just been polite.
Give us a twirl. It's been another busy week on the soaps. Let's see what's happening through the arched window.
Oh, my God.
You only swing when you're winning. New actress arrives on Footballers' Wives. Yes, just put her over there with the other ones. Of course, this was the big retro 70s-style party around at recently bereaved Tanya's. And there was some great 70s-style dancing. Hang on, I recognise that dance anywhere. Me, you're giving someone a hug, then as your head rests on their shoulder, something else enters your mind.
Thank you for having faith in me.
Oh, I haven't turned the grill off.
Come here.
Let's get round to bleeding those radiators.
Kyle! Thank you.
Whatever happened to Normski? This week on EastEnders, it was as if the viewers got to write the lines themselves.
Don't you ever shut your mouth! You're driving me mad! Your voice going on and on and on! I've had a duck in you for a long time!
I couldn't have put it better myself. That fire looked pretty cheap, though, didn't it? We've got hold of the first take. Charlie feeling all sorry for himself. Well, Kat had a few things to say to him.
This ain't about your pride. This ain't your fight. He raped little Mo, not you.
Yeah, there's a picture I didn't particularly want in my head. Nana Moon and fiancé Wilfred went on a shopping spree to, oh, what's the name of that shop? Oh, it's escaped me. Cost Cutters and a Minute Mart. No, it's gone.
Oh, Alfie, darling, we've done the shopping for the weekend.
Oh.
Look.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Now, how much do I owe you?
Well, it came to
Costmart, that's right, yeah. Yeah, Costmart, yeah. I got all my shopping from Costmart, yeah. If I can't get it there, I try Sainsbury's or Tesco's. Yeah. Good old Wilfred.
I think you're doing a bit of business. Keep yourself busy, keep the wits sharp, pay for a few treats for Victoria.
I hope I have half your energy when I'm your age.
Yeah, we'll give it about 10 minutes, you'll find out, Pat. There was suspicion in the air for Andy Hunter and Sam Mitchell.
Maybe you've got your eye on some other woman.
As if.
Don't be a fool, as if left months ago. You're probably like me. You watch the soaps and you think, if only I could influence what happens next. Well, I did, yes. I posted a note through Dennis's letterbox with a suggestion. I don't suppose it would have worked. It worked! Oh, poor Sharon. That punch left her with one leg longer than the other. Here, ever wondered why video dating never works?
Guess what, guys? I've got a maggot living in me, you know.
I've got your phone number, I'll be in touch, all right? No, of course, this was Travelling into Trouble, in which travellers shared their stories of travel.
I did have a sort of like fish-like animal in my foot as well. I don't know what that was. Right. It was about that long, like a very thin tadpole.
Yeah, why are you telling me this? This is a chip shop. So, that's the travellers' side of the story. Of course, the other side was the doctors and the other experts that treated them on their return.
You do hear of sometimes the worms sort of coming down somebody's nasal passage.
The ones Wendy gets are usually sent to her in stool samples through the post.
Yeah, it's not like getting a postal order, is it? I wouldn't want to share a flat with her, would you? Oh, it's the stuff from the catalogue. It's arrived early. Oh, it's one of Wendy's specials. I tell you, if someone sent me a stool sample with a worm in it, straight away, return to sender, sort yourself out. We learned all about how you lured the larva out once it's burrowed into your skin.
Bobflies are meat eaters, so some doctors believe they can be lured out of the skin with a lump of bacon, which needs to be strapped to the spot for up to a week.
Yeah, but what if the bug's Jewish? Time for a TV Expert of the Week.
TV Expert of the Week.
A botfly is a fly.
Ice alert now, and the lengths some people will go to avoid going to the nail bar.
The only thing I could do, basically, was to try to get rid of the end bits. And I eventually used a hacksaw and a vice to cut them off.
See, to combat the cold, I recommend Ready Brek for breakfast, like this lizard.
Meet Secret Agent Dragon Lizard.
Yes, it's Dragons Alive, the new nature programme on BBC One focusing on lizards. not really dragons, are they? All those people from club reps who tuned in thinking they were going to see fire-breathing dragons would have been very disappointed. Shame. It's the hard sell. They've got to make the lizards seem interesting. Give them names. For instance, the Jesus Christ lizard. It's just like Jesus Christ.
This is the basilisk, and he's not known as the Jesus Christ lizard for nothing.
Martin, Mark, wait for me! Here. I'll get the loaves, you get the fish. Then there was the James Bond lizard. Now, we all remember the James Bond theme, don't we? Obviously, the makers of this show tried to get the original theme, but couldn't get permission or didn't want to pay for it.
This is the James Bond of the lizard world.
I've got the Pink Panther lizard here, look. Here he is. You know, they may be the strongest argument around for eugenics, but I've grown rather fond of the club reps. But the happy band of reps are being broken up. Here's Max doing some last-minute packing. Now, I'm never sure, how do you pack a suitcase? Do you fold your trousers up, shirts, put them in first, then shoes, each in its own carrier bag on top, or what? Looks like his suitcase has been burgled. Now, I wouldn't want to be at the customs on the other end of that lot. Yeah, did you pack the bag yourself? Oh, all right, go through. Yeah, go on. Jenna likes a drink. Here she is, packing her case.
It's the final countdown for Jenna, who's doing last-minute packing.
If Now, the show in which they make up the future and pad it out with acting. This week's no-brainer was If Women Ruled the World. What do they mean, if? Right, fellas? They predict that women will carry on having babies until they're much older.
No one has batted an eyelid when men become fathers at the age of 60, 70, even in their 80s. It's almost seen as a macho thing to do to become a father when you're older. But there's been this hypocritical situation, whereas when women become pregnant when they're older, it's seen as...
A bit creepy, isn't it? Bit creepy. We all remember the kid at school with the old mum. White hair, hint of a moustache. Like Dickie Davis in a dress. Boy, Rob, how come you live with your nan? This show, they extrapolate huge consequences from the tiniest small print.
They're entirely female. There's even lizards that are entirely female. There are fish that are entirely female. Potatoes, completely female.
Potatoes are female, therefore women take over.
Indeed, there are some mammals, some voles, which have actually lost the Y chromosome altogether.
Voles lost the Y chromosome, women rule the world. They're working on a new one. What if TV continues to get worse?
The year is 2800, and the people are not happy. After the proliferation of the reality shows of the 2000s, everybody in Britain had been on a TV show. In a world where everyone has been on TV, who is there left to watch?
Oh yes, the year 2004. Big Brother, I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. Back to reality, that's what kicked it all off. And pretty soon, everybody had been on TV. And that's why they started using the horses and dogs and stuff like that. Then, of course, Wellard brought the Director General job.
Listen, Panorama is safe.
But let's go back. After the glut of reality shows in the early 2000s, there was a shortage of new presenters. Thus, the old presenters were pushed to the limits of human lifespan.
Really cuddly!
In 2300, Coronation Street went to 12 times a week and relocated to India to cut costs. By 2800, There was a new face running ITV. When Jordan did take over as head of ITV, she brought in radical new programming ideas. An underground resistance movement grew up. Their plan? To destroy all TV and start again.
Yes, a table for 12, please. For 6:30, thank you. Wonderful.
A table was booked at the Ivy and anonymous invitations made to the TV executives. Little did they know, the restaurant had been booby-trapped. With no one knowing how to run it, TV died out. It had to go back to the most basic form imaginable, the most primitive type of entertainment.
Darling, I'm just throwing out some of great-great-great-granddad's stuff. What kind of strange ancient device is this? Oh, this looks good. Well, this week, the Archbishop of Canterbury was all over the papers having a pop with the footballers' wives, saying they were setting a bad example. But who is better, the Archbishop of Canterbury or the footballers' wives? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break. Go on, Your Grace. Welcome back. Nazi plot twist on Emmerdale. Heil Hitler. The Dingles sort out new teeth for Scylla. Don't you hate it when you're trying to get your seatbelt on and your foot slips off the clutch?
Your attitude stinks. So far, you've been nothing but a right royal pain in the...
Yes, it's the Bill, and they've got a new cameraman join the team, and he's tiny.
Yeah, well, this place is massive.
Nick Klein was in such a state, he was having to read his lines off Adam Acaro's chest.
You don't need me to tell you how grateful we are, Nick.
But the big discovery on the bill this week was a secret doorway to Holby City.
Someone's in there.
Taxi nights now, in which we follow the activities of everyday taxi-driving folk. Oh, joy! We met Dave McCormick, who drives an interesting model of car.
Yeah, just checking the lights now. That daft disco ball.
It's the Ford nightclub.
Something that makes them feel as if they're continuing the night. Something that makes them feel as if they're being looked after. It's like the smallest nightclub in Manchester.
Yeah, you are quite limited in the amount of dancing you can do in the world's smallest nightclub. Yeah, it's pretty much that, yeah. Yeah, you're limited to that, pretty much. Oh, what a night! It was late December back in '63. Was a drunk singing, brilliant fun. Maybe he just picks up tiny people. Let's have a look at what's going on in the back seat. Yeah, there we are. Of course, the main problem with calling your car the world's smallest nightclub, you can't really complain when the punters use the ashtray as a toilet. Yeah, what's another use for an incubator? That's right, use it as a desk. Emmerdale. Yes, some of the cast actually watch it.
I just don't see why they have to say everything in a daft voice.
It's Emmerdale! Sammy Dingles decided to apply for his old job back.
What are you doing, Sam?
I'm trying to get my job back. I've got to write a CV.
Yeah, there's a CV I'd like to see. Yeah. We've got it here, look. There we are. Sam D's CV. been at the top and just start a lot of craning underneath. Yeah. And with a CV like that, I think he's in with a very good chance of a job at Dixon's. Of course, it was Poetry Week.
I try so hard to lose some weight, but walnut chocolates, those tricks of fate, undermine my good intent. I can't even give them up for Lent. So I must face a truth so bleak. My will is strong, but my won't is weak.
Stop it, Shelley! Stop it!
The sea, the stars, the infinity of space. If I asked for a bag of chips like this, I'd get smacked across the face. The stars, the infinity of space. If I asked for a bag of chips like this, I'd get smacked across the face.
Sometimes words are simply not enough. You know what it's like at a wedding, though? You're desperate to get a look at the seating plan, find out who you're sitting next to.
This was a family occasion, but Zaiden, a stranger, found himself sitting next to the father of the groom.
Who am I sitting next to? Auntie Pat, Uncle Roy? Oh, Osama bin Laden. Yeah. It's not easy making small talk with him, is it? Yeah. Any idea where the bar is? Oh, of course you don't, yeah. No, of course it was, I met Osama bin Laden. It was his son's marriage, and they videoed the wedding.
Although the Taliban had outlawed television in Afghanistan, bin Laden had his own camera crew who recorded the ceremony.
Yeah, they videoed it, but because they banned TV, they couldn't watch it back. They have to travel abroad to watch it. Yeah. This documentary showed us a side of Osama that has hitherto remained hidden.
Sometimes he was fun. He knew some Arabic poems. He would sing them about the moon.
Nice to have a hobby. Yeah. Give us another one of your poems, Osama. Yeah. I've actually got Osama here. Yes, come on out. Come on. Here you are. Here he is. Hello, Osama. Oh, hello, Harry. What are you going to do for us today? I'm going to do one of my poems. You're going to do one of your poems? I'm going to do one of my poems. Yeah, what's it about? It's about the moon. OK, that's lovely. Off you go, then. Oh, Mr. Moon, you make me swoon. It reminds me of my honeymoon. Kill all the infidels. Die, die, die. Death to George Bush. That's enough. Go back in your cave. I don't want to go back in my cave. Get back in your cave. I don't want to go back in my cave. Get back in your cave. I don't want to go back in my cave. Oh, what a nasty piece of work. I myself actually met Osama bin Laden.
No!
Yes! There's a photo of us, look. There I am on the far left. Yeah, I used to sell him encyclopedias. Yeah, he'd buy anything, yeah. His was the best better-wear patch in Kabul. He'd always buy a couple of mops, a washing-up brush or a chamois. Oh, happy days. The pigeons are back on Coronation Street.
Right, fellas, this time, could you just walk off to the left?
To the left?
Yes.
Which side's that?
Towards the pavement.
Well, it depends how you're standing, doesn't it?
Well, if you've got the cabin on your right and the hairdressers on your left, I want you to walk towards the hairdressers.
Well, that's right, hairdressers, isn't it?
And not if you're facing the Rovers. See you on set.
You're getting me there.
I think we'll just head off towards hairdressers.
Well, how are you going?
You said right.
That's left, you boy. The problem they've got... Oh! The problem they got down at Corrie, the show can only last half an hour. So if it starts off slowly, they have to make the time up elsewhere.
Oh, I just needed to let my hair down and be with somebody I can talk to without having to work all the time at being nice and being careful not to say the wrong thing, but then being even more careful not to say what he wants me to say, because if I do, he'll have the church booked and I'll be walking down the aisle wondering how I'm going to get out of this thing.
How do you entertain a toddler?
Hey! There's my grandson! Stop it, Granddad, you're frightening me!
It's a father and son team, and Ashley has an important role in the running of the shop.
You going out?
I was changing display in shop.
Dress the window for the Easter display. I can't wait to see it. People come from miles around to see the wonderful Easter display in the butcher's shop. A couple of jars of relish, some dead birds, and there's the Easter bunny, look. Charming, no? Wait a minute, those dead birds. It's not. It's the pigeons. As it's the last show in the series, what better way to finish off than to remember the many faces of Fred Elliott?